Hello and welcome to Coffee Chat with Dream Life Creators, a podcast where we inspire, motivate, encourage, but also give you practical tips to live your dream life here and now. I'm Alinka Tercic, your host, and today I am chatting with Rosemarie Ballmer. Hey,
Hi, Alenka.
today we are going to talk about love, right?
Yes, my favorite topic.
Yes, I know, and I follow you for some time, and I'm so inspired by your story, how you find your own love in your life. Can you please share with us, how you come to do this work and what you learned in experienced in your life regarding love?
Oh, I would love to. Thank you so much, Alenka. Well, I wasn't really that happy in love child all of my life. I truly haven't been because I met my wonderful soulmate, Daniel, in 2013, almost 5 years ago, when I was 46 years old. And before that, my heart got broken numerous times. I called myself a failure in love, and I got to a point where I thought love just isn't meant to be mine in my life, in this lifetime. And I thought, oh, my life is pretty good. I was a lawyer back then. I have a great job. I even had a house. I had a cat. I had good friends. So I thought, well, my life is not too bad. But love kept coming up again and again. And I just knew at the end of my life, I don't want to look back upon my life and say, I haven't tried it enough. I gave up on love. I knew I couldn't stand that. And that's why at the beginning of 2013, I made an intention that this year, 2013, is the year that I'm going to meet my beloved. And from then on, I had no idea when or where or how, no idea really, because when I look back upon my life, there wasn't even one success story. I had a couple of relationships, but they were all short term, not the kind of relationship that I truly wanted. Most of the men, they didn't want to commit to me. There was a married man. There was a man who was still in love with his ex-girlfriend. Oh, painful. There were long distance relationships, just not the kind of love that I truly desired. But when I made that commitment to myself, things unfolded. I literally stumbled upon a group program. I didn't know this person, not at all, but I thought, that's a sign. I need to do that. And I did. This program started at the beginning of April 2013, and at the end of July 2013, I had met him.
Wow. What a fairy tale story. But why do you think it is so hard? I mean, what are we doing ourselves that we are making it so hard? And you said you have, several relationships that were not right, but you still went into them, kind of hoping that they will turn out something else.
Absolutely. I truly think what makes it so hard is our belief system. It's, to be very specific, our negative beliefs. And we keep repeating patterns. When I started to look back upon my love life for the past 20 years, I suddenly discovered that things have been repeating with different men, of course. They were of different religions, different colors, they had different ages, but the fact that they didn't want to commit, that they never got to the point to say, wow, Rosemarie, you're my one. I'm so happy I met you. Not one said that to me. The fact that I always picked men who were not ready to commit to the kind of love that I desired was a true pattern, and we tend to repeat those patterns in our life. And that's why before we do not break those patterns, we will keep repeating them. That's so sad and heartbreaking. And I can speak for myself, but also for my clients. We aren't people who don't do much enough. We are people who try everything. We are people who really, we want something and we go for it. We work hard on getting what we desire, but all the hard work doesn't pay out if you are stuck in those patterns.
Yeah, but
that story, yes.
Do you believe in love at first sight? I mean, we are, from the childhood, we have these fairy tales, with the prince coming and sweeping out, and all these movies, and how love can be found in a most unexpected ways, but oftentimes it's just like from the first moment, they're going to get together or something. Do you think that we are able, or is it the common way of falling in love, or we have to really develop ourselves and work on ourselves and do not the hard work, but do the internal work to reach the relationship that we want?
I don't think it's the very common way to see someone and instantly know, whoa, that's my one. And honestly, I don't even believe in the word the one. I believe we are all souls. You're a soul, Alenka. I'm a soul. Everybody is a soul. And our natural beingness is love. So wouldn't it be pretty sad if we as souls were only able to truly love one single person on earth? Good God, I hope not. So there are so many possible partners for you out there. With each one of them, you will have a different kind of relationship, but not necessarily a better or a worse, just a different kind of relationship. So to answer your question, no, I don't think love at first sight is the very normal thing. What normally happens is chemistry. You have more or less chemistry with somebody, but chemistry does not promise you that this is going to be a lasting love relationship. Not at all. When I met Donnie, there was quite some kind of chemistry, and I loved that. And when we met, I knew he could be the one, but I didn't know if he was or not. And I keep saying the one again. The one I decide.
For now,
the one I decide, yes, let's move forward together. Let's say it like that. Because I didn't know him after our first date. I didn't know if all the nice things that he said would really turn out as he promised them, if he would really take the according actions to what he said. And I was a bit hesitant because I just didn't know. But things developed, and he proved me that, yes, he is truly committed. And that was the sign for me to say, okay, let's do this together. So no, it wasn't love at first sight.
But are you saying that we kind of decide consciously, okay, this is the person that I want to develop something, that I want to have something with, and then you know that it has not nothing, but the chemistry is just one part of the equation, and more is the communication, what you do together, how you because sometimes I hear people say they kind of decide that they found the right person and they want to change it.
Just to be clear, what do you want to say with they want to change it?
When I find someone and we have a great chemistry, and then you are getting to know them, and you find that there are some characteristics that you love, and then some characteristics that you hate, but you kind of hope, and because you decided this is the one, and probably everyone else says, oh yeah, you are so perfect together, and he's such a great catch or whatever, that you choose to be with this person, but you kind of expect that they will change, and that those negative characteristics will somehow turn out okay and be different.
That's a loaded question with a huge question. Let me start at the beginning where you started.
Okay.
I always say falling in love happens. It just happens. You cannot control that. But staying in love, that's an entirely different thing.
Yeah.
Staying in love is a decision. And I say staying in love is a day-to-day decision. Saying yes to each other is a day-to-day decision. And are we perfect? Alenka, I think
of course not.
We have to admit that. No, of course we are.
Of course.
And our soulmates aren't perfect either. So for me, it's not about changing my mind over and over again. For me, it's all about looking at Danny at his absolute best, looking at his most beautiful sides. And he doesn't always show me them, show them to me. He doesn't. And I'm not always at my best with him either. But I choose to look at those sides that I find amazing, and he has them. And there are just a few ones that drive me crazy. Yes, there are. But so what? When I focus upon all those things that are wonderful, he is able to give me more of that. That's what I discovered.
No, I completely agree with you, and I didn't mean to say that we are perfect and they are not, or anything like that, because yes, we all have our own mistakes, but more of the decision to have someone to decide that this is the one, when really it is not, but we are expecting them to be something that we think that we need, but when we in that way changing them, that when we are deciding to go after someone, and they are not our love, our mate, or whatever, they are just we think that maybe it's time that we have someone in our lives, or for all the wrong reasons we choose someone, and we try to make it
make it work, or
make it work
them.
and make it change them to fit into our own idea of having the love.
That's the worst idea ever. The worst idea ever. When you get to know someone and he shows you who he or she is, take it for granted that this is the person, and this person will most likely not change. And I think it's not very nice if we expect someone to change. How would we feel if somebody tells us, oh, you would be perfect if this and that wasn't part of your personality. Go and change that, come back here, and I love you. That has nothing to do with unconditionally loving someone. And we all want that. And that's the beauty of a relationship for me, of that sacred vessel of a relationship. You can be authentic. You can be who you are, with your good, with your mediocre, with your bad sides. You can be who you are, and you still know you are loved the way you are. And in order to create that, for me, the first step is to accept your partner, to take him or her as he or she is.
So how do you know when it is love, or it is something that you are expected to do, like when you get into the certain age? And I'm sure it happened to you, when you will get married, will you have kids, the peer pressure and the pressure from your parents and everyone, when you meet, they expect that you have someone in your life. And how do you, choose love or be single if it's not working, instead of settling for, for less than?
I always tell my clients to really start at the beginning. And I'm not a fan of those 100 item lists, but I want them to really dive deep into their deepest desires in love, what they need to really be happy in a relationship. And I don't mean that they compare everybody to that list, everybody that they meet. I want them to just get clarity what makes them happy. And when they have that clarity, it's so much easier to attract that into your life. You can't just go to Starbucks and say, hey, give me a coffee. Most likely, they won't give you the coffee that you truly love.
Right.
You must be more specific than that. And you don't need to talk about the outer appearance. Does he have brown hair or light hair? About his profession or whatever. But for example, how would you want to feel like in that relationship? How do you want to feel like? And what do you want to share with that person? What do you want to co-create with that person? Those are things that you need to know when you go out there and look for him or her.
Yeah, I love that. It all starts with us and what we want.
It does, yes.
Yeah, cool. So what would you say that are some most common limiting beliefs when we are falling in love, or when we are searching for love?
Yes. I made a list of 166 negative beliefs in love, just in love. So it's broad.
So many.
It's broad. But the most common ones are certainly, I am not ... enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not slim enough. I'm not young enough. I am not rich enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not beautiful enough, whatever. That's a biggie, truly a biggie. There are other ones like, I don't deserve love, or at least not such an amazing love like I want to attract. But there are also other kinds, like, men never commit to me. Men always want sex, for example. Or even beliefs about life or about the universe. Life is hard. Love is hard. Love always hurts in the end. It's broad, and I want to say there's not a better or a worse negative beliefs. If you have a negative belief, you want to get rid of them because they rule your life. They are the reason why you keep repeating those things that are the total contrary of what you truly want.
Right, and it's true for every area of the life. It's
totally.
I couldn't imagine finding so many. I'm shocked. But how you can get rid of them? What you can do to turn that into something positive?
Mm-hmm. There are so many tools out there, and I wanted to find a really easy tool because I always want to simplify things, because when I give you a tool that takes 5 hours a day, guess what? Nobody's going to do it, and I wouldn't do it either. So I started with EFT, and I also was a hypnotherapist for 7 years, and then I stumbled upon the law of attraction, and gosh, that law of attraction, that made me see I really must learn that, because from hypnosis, I already knew we are living in a vibrational universe. So I knew I better learn how this universe works. Otherwise, I just keep doing that trial and error thing that I don't want. And what I truly want is, I want to deliberately create what I truly desire. That's what I want, with ease, with fun, having a joyful journey. That's what I want. That's why I kept sticking with the law of attraction. And you can apply those rules from the law of attraction also when you want to get rid of your negative beliefs. I created a 5-step program to do that. And to be honest, it doesn't help you if I give you those 5 steps, because I cannot snip with my finger. You cannot get rid of them from one second to the other. It's a process. And you might hate me now because I say that it's a process, but it is. What is a belief? You know that. What is a belief? A belief is just a thought that you kept thinking over and over and over again for years or for decades. Most of our beliefs have been created early on in our childhood. So you have your beliefs for 20, 30, 40, or even more years. It makes perfect sense that you might need a month or so to get rid of them. So give yourself that time. There's no quick fix in life. And you can do it. It doesn't take nearly to as much as a year or 10 years or so on, but it's just not a quick fix. Don't expect that there is a quick fix, because there isn't.
Okay, but can you give us something that our listeners can do right now? You know, like you said, not for hours and for years, but you know, something they can do today or tomorrow or every day for a few minutes that will bring them closer to love.
Absolutely. I would start with step 1, and step 1 for me is that you uncover your limiting beliefs from your unconscious mind to conscious mind, because when they are in your conscious mind, you can change them, and they are not going to rule your life anymore. They don't have the steering wheel of your life in their hands anymore. You can have that. And the first step, as I said, uncover them. How can you do that? Look back upon your past 10 or 15 years. It doesn't matter, on your love life, or if you think you might have limiting beliefs around your profession or around building your business, look back upon the past 10 to 15 years of your business life. What happened there? Be on the lookout of things that kept repeating in the same, or at least in a similar manner. And when you get to those points, dig deeper and ask yourself, what thought or what belief could stand behind there? In my case, when I discovered, oh gosh, I always chose men who do not commit, I detected those limiting beliefs, like, and that was a hard one to uncover. I do not deserve love. When gets me emotional right now when I say that. Just to think that I thought I don't deserve love. Good God. Or I'm not beautiful enough. I had that belief as well. I'm not beautiful enough to find love. When you find those beliefs, a very easy thing, a test somehow to do is, how does that feel like? How does that thought or belief feel like? And I can tell you it feels bad, pretty bad. And if it feels bad, this is your sign from inside, from your internal system that tells you it's not true. It's not true. And I suggest what you do then is to immediately look for thoughts that do feel better. Replace that thought with a better feeling thought. Getting up on the emotional ladder, looking for thoughts that feel better. And you have to keep repeating that. That's the first thing that I would do. And you can start doing that today.
Exactly. Thank you. So where can people find more about you? And you also prepared a free gift for our listeners?
Yes, of course, I do have a free gift. And they can find it on www.rosemarieballmer.com. And my free gift, that's the Initiating Magic Blueprint. They can download it right there on that homepage. And it gives you the first step, really the first yummy, easy, fun step to magnetizing your amazing man. It works for men as well. Just switch the man for woman.
Of course, yes. We were talking like here from the women's perspective, but it works the other way around as well. Or
absolutely.
Awesome. Before we end, I know that you're working with clients on finding love. And do you have any inspiring stories to share, to end this interview on a high note and with the hope for others that it is possible?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I have numerous clients who really changed, who went through a dramatic change when they uncovered their limiting beliefs and changed them. There was one client, she was in the middle of a truly toxic relationship. They had met nearly a year ago, and she found that this relationship is the exact pattern that reflects what she experienced in her childhood, being abandoned. And she chose a man who had a very dominant mother who did not accept her. She was never accepted into that family, and she was struggling and working to be accepted, which didn't work, of course. So she dumped him, and I'm really glad she did that. She got out of that toxic relationship, and she worked on herself, and she found such an amazing man. And she is one of the prettiest women I have ever known. So it doesn't make sense that she hasn't attracted an amazing man before. But it only changed. It doesn't have anything to do with looks or with age. It only changed when she changed within, when she changed her negative patterns. And another inspiring story, this lady, she met her amazing man just after our first session. So I was dumbfounded. I had thought, oh, Rosemarie, you did pretty well. 3 months, but this girl, good God. One session and she met him. It's amazing.
Wow.
And you can do that too. And honestly, it doesn't matter whether it takes 3 months or 6 months. It's a sure thing. You will find your beloved. It's a sure thing. You're custom made to live love, to experience it. And if you have a joyful journey towards your beloved, it doesn't matter how much time it takes.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I thank you so much for this inspiring interview. And like you said, we all deserve love. We are love.
Yes.
And it was really pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alenka, and thank you to the listeners.
Thank you. I'm Alenka Tercic, and this was Coffee Chat with Dream Life Creators. Bye.
Bye.
Oops. Nope. What did I say?